Welcome to AnimeStar Recaps. Do not forget to subscribe and like the video for more. In the year 2076, young David Martinez, despite his family's money problems, joins the elite Arasaka Academy at the request of his mother Gloria. David alters his cyberware illegally to cheat the system because of his lack of cash. However, the illegal cyberware caused the school's system to crash, which leads to his mother paying for the damage. David and his mother have a small argument on the way home before getting involved in a gang war that leaves Gloria seriously hurt. David is able to gain access to Gloria's bank account to pay for her medical bills and learns that she had stolen a Sandevistan implant of military grade. After being beaten by his classmate Katsuo, David learns that Gloria's condition has gotten worse and she dies in the hospital and gets cremated. David goes up with Doc, a local ripper doc who he frequently buys illegal products from, and asks to have the Sandevistan implanted into his own body. Doc decides to install the Sandevistan, which gives David superhuman strength and speed. David goes back to school with his newfound abilities to attack and humiliate Katsuo in front of his classmates to get revenge. He is then expelled from the academy. Tanaka, Katsuo's father and a senior executive at Arasaka, observes that David is able to use the Sandevistan with no noticeable side effects, which would make him a useful test subject for their most recent invention. Meanwhile, while David wanders the city aimlessly, he meets Lucy, a young netrunner, who accepts his offer to join her team. After a night of pickpocketing on the subway, David passes out from usage of his Sandevistan. Lucy brings David back to the doc, who issues him immunosuppressants and cautions him not to use the Sandevistan more than 2 times per day despite the fact that David seems to have developed an impressive tolerance to it. Lucy then takes David to her apartment, where she confesses to him about her desire to leave Earth and go to the moon. She presents a virtual simulation of the moon's surface to David, but it turns out that this is just a trap to sell David to a group of EdgeRunners. A gang, commanded by a man by the name of Maine, confronts David and tells him that Gloria had sold the Sandevistan to him the day before she passed away and that he is a friend of hers. David proves his compatibility with the Sandevistan by admitting he is Gloria's son and offering to work for Maine. Maine is intrigued, so he makes the decision to let David have an opportunity to prove himself. Having lost trust in Lucy, David returns home. The following day, when David joins up with the group, Maine introduces him to Kiwi, Dorio, and Pillar. Then, David takes part in a robbery to acquire navigational secrets from Maxim, an Arasaka driver. Due to unforeseen difficulties, the operation fails, and David and Lucy are ordered to steal Maxim's limo in order to obtain the navigation data. After saving them from a Japanese mobster sent by Maxim to kill them, Maine formally welcomes David into the group after being pleased with his performance. David also meets Faraday, Maine's fixer, who assigned them the task of stealing Maxim's navigation data in order to learn more about Tanaka's whereabouts. The Academy then sends David a video message offering to let him come back, but David calmly declines. David is trained and instructed by the other gang members as a new recruit, which includes doing odd jobs for Pillar and his sister Rebecca, taking driving lessons from Maine, and nighttime jogging with Lucy. Along with the crew, he also takes part in a number of jobs, such as eliminating a group of hunters, rescuing Rebecca from a gang, and supporting Lucy in her pickpocketing heists. His knowledge of Lucy's past is limited to the fact that she is a gifted netrunner. David confesses to Maine that he really likes Lucy, but he is sure she doesn't feel the same towards him, and he is unsure of whether he can trust her. David eventually starts to feel comfortable with the team, but while Pillar is returning from a nightclub, he starts bothering a homeless man who is chilling on the street. The homeless man suddenly shoots Pillar to death with a concealed weapon after it is discovered that he has cyberpsychosis. David kills the cyberpsycho before he can harm Lucy again by using his Sandevistan. The group stays behind to clean up the aftermath while David takes Lucy home, where Lucy admits that her dream of seeing the moon is real. David vows to take Lucy to the moon before they kiss. As the gang searches for more information about Tanaka, Kiwi mentions that she learned he secretly takes part in illegal braindances made by JK. David identifies that as the name of Jimmy Kurosaki, a well-known director of BDs who creates unique braindances for important customers like Tanaka. The gang tries to kidnap JK after spotting a chance to capture Tanaka, but he outsmarts them, snatches David, and speeds away while Lucy and Dorio are pursuing him. In an effort to cause cyberpsychosis, JK subjects David to painful braindances before being interrupted and captured by Lucy and Dorio. JK agrees to entrap Tanaka since he has no other option, but not before warning David that the Sandevistan will definitely cause him to go cyberpsycho. Before Tanaka is taken prisoner, JK is fatally shot in the crossfire as he meets with Tanaka. Tanaka is forced to flee with the gang as the trauma team approaches, and David is left frightened by JK's comments. Maine begins to exhibit symptoms of cyberpsychosis, including shaky hands, sporadic blackouts, hallucinations, and major mood swings. As Kiwi attempts to hack into Tanaka's cyberware, Maine loses control and attacks her, severely hurting her. Only on the condition that David go with her and Maine be kept out does Lucy agree to step in for Kiwi. Tanaka regains consciousness as Lucy dives into his mind. He begs David to let him go, claiming that he was responsible for the academy overturning his expulsion, and that he still holds a future there, and that the EdgeRunners will slaughter him once they get his information. Tanaka's neural implant glitches out as a result of David's hesitation, potentially killing Lucy as well. However, because their jammer was taken out, the trauma team was able to receive Tanaka's vital signs and proceed with the NCPD as support when Dorio successfully disconnected Lucy. While he and Dorio abduct Tanaka to confuse the authorities, Maine orders David and Lucy to the escape truck. However, as the battle progresses, Maine starts to lose control of his cyberpsychosis, which causes Dorio to die in her attempt to shield him. David tries to save Maine but can only stand by helplessly as a heartbroken Maine blows himself up alongside Dorio's corpse. David's only option is to run away while holding Maine's arm. After the incident, David has put on more implants, particularly Maine's arm implants, and has established himself as one of the most well-known EdgeRunners. He is now the new leader of Maine's EdgeRunner gang. He hasn't been able to persuade Lucy to return to the crew, though. After saving a VIP from the Maelstrom gang on behalf of the fixer Wakako, David is called by Faraday, who gives him a job from Militech targeting Arasaka as a trial to see if he is deserving of taking over Maine's last mission to find the data Tanaka was hiding. Faraday also asks David to recruit Lucy again. David speaks with Lucy when he gets home, wishing to learn more about her childhood. She discloses that she was formerly a member of an elite group of Arasaka netrunners who were raised and prepared to explore the old net in search of lost data. However, the effort was dangerous because it exposed them to malware and rogue AIs, which resulted to the deaths of most of the team. Lucy eventually managed to get away from Arasaka and arrived in Night City. She also acknowledges that whereas in the past she just worried about herself, nowadays David's health is more important to her. Later, Lucy murders an Arasaka agent who was looking into data regarding a test subject that had been suddenly deleted from Tanaka's files. Because of Faraday's job, David kills the director of the Arasaka lab while exhibiting symptoms of cyberpsychosis. Arasaka counterintelligence is now looking into the unsolved murders of Arasaka employees. They set up a murder attempt on Faraday, who barely escapes, thinking Militech is involved. Faraday contacts Arasaka after Militech declines to offer protection since he has had little luck in retrieving data related to Arasaka's cyberskeleton project. In exchange for Faraday finding the netrunner in charge of murdering their agents and concealing Tanaka's data, Arasaka is prepared to forgive Faraday's role in Tanaka's death. David, meantime, begins to display increasing signs of cyberpsychosis and is traumatized by the assassination of a defenseless secretary who reminded him of his mom. Doc suggests that David reduce the number of implants he has, only to be assaulted by David, severing their friendship. David tries to recruit Lucy once more, but she says that she must attend to something else first, so David considers ending their relationship. When Lucy finds another Arasaka agent searching for Tanaka's files, she goes to assassinate him but ends up in a trap set by Kiwi and Faraday. After questioning Lucy, Faraday and Kiwi learn that Lucy killed Tanaka to silence him and purposefully concealed Tanaka's information about David being a future test subject for the cyberskeleton. Knowing this, Faraday intends to make Arasaka an offer for Lucy and David in order to move up the company. David is given a job by Faraday to attack an Arasaka truck. David assembles the support of Kiwi, Rebecca, and Falco, and together they are successful in capturing the primary cargo of the truck, which turns out to be on autopilot. Then, as a result of a tip from Faraday, a Militech force shows up with the intention of forcing David to install the cyberskeleton, and then using it to decimate the Militech force to demonstrate its power. As Faraday poses as Lucy to dupe him into installing the cyberskeleton, Kiwi makes her getaway. Before being arrested again, Lucy makes a brief break for freedom and informs David of Faraday's deception. Despite the terrible toll it takes on his body, David utilizes the cyberskeleton to destroy the Militech army out of rage. After that, he promises Rebecca and Falco that they will free Lucy and exact revenge on Faraday. As he, Rebecca, and Falco make their way to Arasaka Tower, David battles his way past Militech, Arasaka, and Max TAC forces. While everything is going on, David's health keeps getting worse since his immunosuppressants are running out. In the meantime, Kiwi changes her mind about working with Faraday and decides to break up her relationship with him, so Faraday has her killed as a loose thread. Kiwi informs David and the others where Faraday and Lucy are before she passes away. By attacking the tower, David manages to kill the Arasaka security personnel, save Lucy, and take down Faraday. When Arasaka realizes they can no longer control the situation, they send in Atom Smasher to take down David. Faraday is thrown off the tower and dies as a result of the battle, while Rebecca is killed by Atom Smasher. Falco is given a duty by David to make sure Lucy gets away, as David stays behind to fend off Atom Smasher. David is easily defeated and slain by Atom Smasher despite having the cyberskeleton, but he has no regrets because he knows Lucy is safe. Later, Lucy achieves her dream of visiting the moon, but she is disappointed that David isn't able to celebrate with her. The last number of your like is who powers you get. Comment who you got. Don't forget to subscribe for more anime recaps.